It's your boy, Nicholas Miles Newton. Hello, how are you? How is today? I know it's football Sunday, but God got something else in mind today for me. I'm outside of my favorite place in Noonan, Georgia, Noonan High School. Um, Learned so much here. It's where the mental, physical came together. There's oftentimes during wrestling season I would run around 4 times to be a mile. Guess what I'm here to talk about today? I bet you already know. And following this Braves adventure, because that's what it's been. It's been an adventure. It has led me down in some really deep lows, but I've also had some really good highs. But I got to put it down on this adventure. Even before, I've always felt like I was a little different. Um, Imagine being a 40-year-old black man realizing that you have ADHD and that you may be on the spectrum. There's been hard conversations for sure, and I definitely need to go have more testing done. But I just know for a fact, like, you know how you read something and it's like, oh damn, that is me. I do that. You know, like sometimes I'll go out to a party with friends and I'm socially awkward. I'll just be in the corner on my phone chilling. And like, hey, are you good? Yeah, I'm all right. Just, I don't know. I've always just kind of gone inside. I don't want to be inside no more. I want to be outside. And the first thing I'm gonna do is talk about dreams. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be Huey P. Newton because he was fair skinned. His last name was Newton. It reminded me of my family. Then as I got older, I realized we represent a very small percent of the population. So what else can I do? And I done figured it out. I done finally figured the shit out. Ooh, I done figured it out. I done figured it out. I figured it out. Invest in the Braves. God first showed me on Mother's Day after I did a week of research. I first realized May 8th because the Braves, um, they weren't being shown on television. And I think it was Bally Sports. I was at my job and they had this big ass message up on the television screen about Valley Sports and going through a bankruptcy, and that was the thing that kind of lit a fire. So I kept doing my research until finally Sunday morning at 6 a.m. and it was like an explosion in my mind. Um, it was God talking to me. And I called my homie LA. I'm crying. I've got snot coming down my nose. And I'm talking about like the good thick gooey shit. Oh God, niggas the Braves. Oh God, God has shown me it's the Braves, nigga. And LA is just like, hey man, nigga, it's 6 o'clock in the goddamn morning, brother. You all right? You good? Well, do some more research, nigga. It's like, okay, and I have, and I've done so much research that I've discovered things about myself. You ever heard of the GATE program? Yeah, the GATE, G-A-T-E, the GATE program. Yeah, you early millennial babies might remember. They would come to the classroom and you would take a test, or they would pull you out the classroom with some other students and take a test. I remember in Atlanta, I tested a couple times. And when I moved to Noonan, I tested a couple times. But I was always on the cusp. Only to find out 30-some years later that the GATE program was really a CIA program where they were looking for children who had special abilities. ESP. I know it sounds crazy, but you can basically look at it as like women's intuition. Which y'all need to work on this shit. Women's intuition, you know what I mean? Sometimes y'all be wrong on that shit. Y'all you think it's negative. It's like, no. You gotta work on it because it's kind of like Superman. When he first got his powers, you feel everything and everything is a raw emotion. But anyway, God has been showing me that I got ESP. They call it psychometry. And sometimes you can pick up an object or just think about an object and you will be able to tell information. And for me, my intuition has grown exponentially since starting this. I've been finding little things here and there about the Braves. Like, did you know they used to be called the Doves? Yes, the Braves were known as the Doves, I believe from 1907 to 1910. They were owned by George Dovey at the time, who died, and then the team went to his brother, John Dovey. They used to be known as the Boston Red Stockings. Then they were the Bees, the Boston Bees. What else? No, hold on, I gotta refer to my notes now. So they became the Boston Braves. I'm sorry, they were known as the Boston Rustlers in parts of 1910 and 1911. You know, a rustler is a snake. Snake means change. The Braves became known as the Boston Braves in 1912 when I believe it was James Gaffney bought the team. Now, James Gaffney was an alderman for Tammany Hall. And if you go watch games in New York, they talk about Tammany Hall. Tammany Hall was named for the Tammany Society, which was named for Chief Tammany, T-A-M-A-N-E-N-D. Now, Chief Tammany, he was known as the Chief of Chiefs. He was the big chief, the head chief of Turtle Island. Turtle Island is North America. So this dude buys the team and names them the Braves. But he also uses the likeness of Chief Tammany. So the early chief that you would see on like the Boston Braves or the Milwaukee Braves jersey, Chief Tammany. Don't know if I touched on this, but the Braves were born on January 20th, 1871. They're 154 years old. They are an Aquarius. The Braves, as an organization, they're an Aquarius, like myself, which is really cool because our spirit animal is a dolphin. I know this sounds weird, but that's only until you realize that there were, as recently as 2022, I believe, there was a bottlenose dolphin that has been named the Tammany. It's like a Tammany dolphin, but it has a round nose, and I guess they're really playful and really smart, and known for popping up. But this is what I thought was pretty cool. So Tammany Hall used to be at 44 Union Square, 17th Street and Park Avenue, across from Union Square. And Union Square is like a little park up in New York. and it used to house the New York Film Academy. It used to house New York Film Academy. And I've been to New York Film Academy. I auditioned there a couple times. It's a really spooky, cool place, but I guess they wanted to move somewhere different. But here's what's really weird. They moved to 17 Battery Place, Floor 1, New York, New York, in the financial district, which is a 2-minute walk away from the Charging Bull. And for you, those of you that don't know, the Battery is where the For those of you that don't know, the Battery is where the Braves play. During this time that I learned about the word wigwam. Wigwam. Wigwam? Wigwam. I'm not sure how to say it. But I do know I'm trying to get this information out. The ancestor in the sky has tasked me with something, and I am going to obligate. So, my name is Nicholas Miles Newton. My father comes from Liberty County. My name is Nicholas Miles Newton. My dad's people come from South Georgia, right there by the Georgia-Florida line. Most likely Seminoles. I actually traveled down there for my birthday this past weekend, and I got to see Gopher Wood. I went to Torreya State Park. It was gorgeous. My mother's family, she's from Georgia, around Heard County. Around this area, you would have Cherokee and Creek Indians, but I'm not totally sure what her lineage is. All I know is that the ancestor has been speaking to me. I used to work at Burn by Rocky Patel at the Braves, at the Battery where the Braves play. And I remember this past, what was it, last March? It was like March or April. I was working by myself during the day, and a gentleman came in with his son. He was Indian. His son looked more black. He was a heavy-set guy. But I took care of him, and the spirit was telling me to look out for him, so I looked out like he was my grandfather. And I told him at the end, I said, man, you remind me so much of my grandfather, and I just wanted to tell you that. And so I took care of some things for you, and he gave me the biggest hug that was like a grandfather hugging a grandson that you hadn't seen in a long time. And it was dope. It was further proof that following my instinct is correct. And I bet if you search for him, he'll know who I am. All I know is God wants us to rise up. God wants us to come together and buy stock in the Braves. And we are going to roam this land like buffalo. Free. Like we're supposed to be. Also, before I forget, buy it all. I don't know which stock it is. Buy it all. Buy all of them. The Braves got, I think they have Battery A and Battery C, I believe. The difference is A is the premium stock and C is the common stock. Buy whatever you can find. Buy anything associated with the Braves. Buy it all. Be greedy. For the first time in your life, be greedy. And for me, this is kind of weird to put out, because if this shit is right, my life is going to change. For good or for bad. I'm just tired of seeing us fucked up. God has shown me that we can be on top again. So I'm going to take that chance. I love you all.